Senior Bishop Reddick, colleagues, to all of the members of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, and may I even say to my 3D family, greetings to all of you. I trust that you are enjoying the favor of God. Please indulge me for just a few moments as I share with you what I pray will be an inspiration or at least some inspirational thoughts and perhaps even some challenging thoughts. My granddaughter, when she was 2, used to enjoy being tossed around, up and down, and tossed around by her father. There were times that I would watch them as they would be playing. He would literally pick her up, throw her up in the air, catch her before she falls. And she would be skinning and grinning and giggling, laughing. And she, even though she could not really talk that well, she had learned one word, and that word was again. So as soon as he caught her, she would say again. He would throw her back up and catch her. Needless to say, that game or that playtime continued until one of them were tired. And usually it was my son who had gotten tired of throwing her up and down. Nevertheless, as I thought about that, and I still think about it so often, I remember how much confidence and trust she had in her daddy to believe that he could throw her up and that he would not allow her to fall, that he was going to catch her, and that no harm was going to come to her. Needless to say, brothers and sisters, that's the point that I want to highlight today. And to say, oh, if we had that much confidence and that much faith and trust in God. That made me think about the text of Exodus 16, and I challenge you to read that in your leisure. For you will find out that the children of Israel is just out of Egypt on their way to the promised land. But now that they are out in the wilderness, it is at this point that the text says they begin to murmur. And even though it said murmuring against Moses, they were really saying they were worried and in despair because they were out there and they seemingly didn't have any food to eat. They charged Moses. They talked to Moses. They murmured against Moses and said, Moses, you've brought us out here to die. At least while we were in Egypt, we had flesh pots. The Message Bible interprets that. We had lamb stew and we could eat our fill. But now that you've brought us out here, you've brought us out here to die. The wilderness for them was a place of despair, uncertainty, anxiety about survival. And here it is that God was trying to help them to learn what it really means to trust in him and to know that regardless to what circumstances they find themselves in, that God is still a very present help in time of need. I've been looking at that and trying to ask myself, what does it tell me? What does this text tell me about faith, about trusting in God? And the first thing I wanted to just highlight is that the text seemingly suggests to us that trust, brothers and sisters, is tested in wilderness experiences. Oh, how easy it is for us to be able to come to a point and to say, I trust in God. And many times we sing, I will trust in God until I die. But wait until the wilderness experience come. Accordingly, brothers and sisters, during the wilderness, can we still stand flat-footed? When our money is funny, when our health is gone, can we still say, I will trust in God? It is tested. And I've heard someone say it this way, there will be a time in our lives when every sermon we have preached, when every Sunday school lesson we have taught, when every word of witness we have given, there will be a time that we will be tested. It is as if God will be asking us, do you really believe what you've been saying all of this time? If so, trust me. What am I trying to say? The first thing that I want us to hear is that trust is tested in wilderness experiences. The second thing, trust helps me to be optimistic about my future. When I trust in God, I am more optimistic. I'm not like the children of Israel spending my time thinking about starvation and dying, but rather I'm optimistic about life and living. Can I help somebody here and say, don't let your negative possibilities cloud your positive probabilities? And I think the elders and the older folk had it right. They used to sing a song down south anyway that said, this morning when I rose, I didn't have no doubt. I knew the Lord would take care of me. I knew the Lord would provide for me. I knew the Lord would lead and guide me all the way. They seem to have had that right. Trust makes me realize that my blessings may come in unexpected ways. Naaman, I know you're looking for the prophet to come out, to touch you, and to pray for you, and to bring about your healing. But all you got to do, Naaman, is just go dip 7 times in the Jordan River. Here it is that trust lets me recognize that my blessings may not always come the way I anticipate them. But if I can say it this way, brothers and sisters, God is an on-time God. And if he doesn't bless me one way, I got a mind that says he'll bless me another. Another thing that I've learned about trust is that it is a daily endeavor. When I looked at the text, daily they were to go and to get their bread. They could not stockpile. They could not save it. It was a daily thing. Give us this day our daily bread. Trust makes me trust God day by day by day. And here it is, brothers and sisters, that we got to learn what it is to live one day at a time. And the Lord will indeed bless us and take care of us. The last thing that I wanted to share with us about trust. When you really trust God, and I dare want to use the word faith interchangeably, but when you have that faith in God, brothers and sisters, you know how to remember the Sabbath. For in the text, they were able to gather enough food for 6 days. And on the 6th day, rather, they would gather enough for Sunday so that they could rest on Sunday. And I dare say, remember the Sabbath and to keep it holy. The Sabbath was a day of remembering, if you will, from whence their blessings came. And every now and then, brothers and sisters, we don't have to wait until Sabbath, but we ought to recognize that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, then indeed, where would we be? But he watches over us, he takes care of us, and he sees to our every need, day by day by day. Well, I'm going to close with this thought. I don't know if you want to admit it, but perhaps you may be like me. I find myself sometimes seeming like I have faith, and then at other times it seems as if my faith is waning. So I find myself saying, oh, for faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe. Lord, give me that faith so that when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to worry. I know that you are my very present help in my time of need. God bless you, my CME church family and friends. And know that it is my prayer to God for you, that the Lord will bless you and keep you, that the Lord will make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you, that the Lord will lift up his countenance on each of you and give you peace, now and forever. Amen, amen, amen.